But when we talked about the power of tolerance, one of the things that you talked about was, again, a sort of counterintuitive notion that rather than taking whatever someone is delivering and grinning and bearing it, which was the phrase that you used then, that instead you think about what you might give. Well, in the case of letting go, one of the notions is holding on to something, right? And trying to figure out how to do the counterintuitive thing in these moments. So how do I practice, how does my mind get practiced at steering, at braking, at figuring out whether I'm stubborn in the moment and opening up?
Or whether you're just being a doormat?
Yes.
You know, the other end is, you know, I could just be a doormat for people.
Right.
How do you know? That is a very, very good question. In it, one of the things we are going to talk about very soon is the power to discern. And in the power to discern, you will know in which situation what you have to do, and we can talk about it then. But in being stubborn, when you learn to listen to people, really listen to what they're saying, the argument could be about something, but actually it could be, the root cause of it could be something else. And so when you learn to listen to people, you'll automatically be in tune with what's going on. And so even before you get into all of that, you have to learn to be in tune with your own self. And that is why you meditate, so that you are in tune with your own self, and so you know at the right time. Because you really don't want to be a doormat, you know, but you also don't want to be stubborn. You want to be powerful in the situation of let go and be happy in the moment. And so it's very important, a meditation practice of some sort is very important to be able to stabilize yourself and also to be completely in touch, not just with what's going on with yourself, but with the other person too.
Well, I see the connection between tolerance and letting go being almost stages, each stages of the same action, where tolerance gets you through, and letting go ends it. That's the period. You mentioned the period at the end of the sentence.
Yeah.
And that's what makes you lighter, because you've done away with something. But just as with tolerance, I feel almost a human, natural tendency to want to strike back, to want to punish, do a number of other things that are in response to the thing that you're saying I should let go, that would be satisfying were I to do them.
It's really good not to give in to instant gratification.
So that's what you think it is, it's instant gratification.
I do want to mention something else though. There is something called a spiritual illusion, and which is very different from a physical illusion. A physical illusion is if I have a black hat and I'm pulling out rabbits. Right, that's a physical illusion. A spiritual illusion is when I think something is going to give me happiness, but in the long run it's actually going to give me sorrow. And so it's creating an illusion in my head that this is what is going to happen, but actually that's not what's going to happen. Something else is going to happen. That I think I'm going to get happiness, but actually I'm getting sorrow. And this is one of those spiritual illusions. And the only way in any illusion that you can debunk an illusion is to actually go through the illusion, follow through, and say that, okay, in these situations, for this period of time, I am not going to hold on a grudge. I'm not going to hold on to whatever that I'm holding on to in a situation. And then you see over a period of time how you feel. And then you will know actually that actually is a spiritual illusion, to give into that instant gratification.
I felt at some point in my life the power of letting go through forgiveness. That the act of forgiveness in the end, once I recognized that it wasn't a gift to someone else, but actually a gift to myself because it allowed me to let go of something. What I find difficult is to remember that that ever happened in the next time. Now, meditation is the road that you've chosen to reach that end, to keep the memory going.
Right.
But isn't that at the core of it, isn't being able to remember what you already know
Yes.
a big part of this?
Definitely. Actually, that's the essence of everything. Because deep within us, we do have a sense of what's right, what's wrong, who we are, everything. In the Brahma Kumaris, the premise is that wisdom is innate, is an intrinsic quality of every human being. And so each of us has that wisdom. We just need to emerge it. We just need to remember it. And so remembering things is very much a part of that. And remembering it at the right moment.
Which takes practice.
Which,
And
actually, you know, many times I feel things, if you do things in the right way, which is another key, which I won't get into, but if you do things in the right way, these things come. It's not necessarily that you have to sit in one spot, close your door, dim the lights and sit and meditate and keep meditating for 20 years and then you'll come out with the power to let go. It's not like that. You know, that's not the practice I'm talking about. The practice I'm talking about is mindfulness in my everyday life.
where have you been most challenged yourself in that kind of mindfulness?
I would say if through my very subtle laziness, if I misuse something, if I have arrogance about something, for example, if I'm able to let go 10 times, right, and then I get lazy about it, or I get arrogant, oh, I was able to do it so many times. And then I forget to practice or I forget to be mindful about something, and that laziness and that arrogance really trips me up.
Now, I can see two very different ways of thinking of the phrase letting go within the same context. One is let go of an ill feeling, let go of a grudge, let go of any of these things that are bad. The other is what we face in a few weeks when our 18-year-old goes off to college, which is letting go of an attachment. That's a good thing. Letting go of a part of your life that's been a good thing. So are we talking about the same act when we talk about letting go in both of those contexts?
Letting go of attachment is a very deep and long topic.
Oh, we've got minutes.
We've got minutes. No, actually, we are not necessarily talking about the same thing. We are talking here about negative thinking, but in a way that attachment to people could be negative thinking, in that if it is with selfish motive. If it's love, actually, you know, you want to say love, but if love has a selfish motive, then it becomes attachment. And so when you, in the case of your 18-year-old, you have love and you want her to grow her own wings and you want her to fly, you want her to do all of that. And so change is a part of life. So it's not necessarily about letting her go, but it's about the change that's going to happen in your life.
And what is it that you're letting go about that?
That whatever is the next step is even more beautiful than the first step. So it's not even like letting go of what has happened in the past or what it could have been, but embracing what will be.
Which again strikes me as one of those moments of counterintuitiveness that letting go is embracing.
Embracing the right thing,
right. Sure.
Embracing something that is harmful for you. Yes, actually it's very hard. The human nature is such that it's very hard to just let go without embracing something else. And that's why to just break is very hard. With your thoughts, you have to break and you have to steer.
But you steered, and so you're steering towards something else.
You're steering towards something else.
Which I would imagine has to appear to be preferable to the direction you were going originally.
I go back to this whole thing of spiritual illusion. You try it a few times and you will find it actually a preference. You will think it's a preferable option because of the way you're going to feel when you do it.
Okay.